Hey everybody, thanks for tuning back into Crypto Mainly. My name's Lee. Just a quick thank you guys. The 169 subscribers now, so the channel is growing nicely. Please like, subscribe and press the bell for notifications. Appreciate that, and you've made some lovely comments as well, so thank you very much for all the positive comments. If you do feel that there's anything you'd like to critique or put some negative comments on the videos, please feel free to do that. At the moment, I had absolutely fantastic, lovely comments, but do feel free to critique at this early stage. Whilst we've got this small number of subscribers, I can interact with you directly. Hope, when there's hundreds of thousands of subscribers on here, it might be more difficult to keep track of the messages. So please do take the time to give me the feedback that you've got now. I do appreciate it. Just want to draw your attention to this. This is my NFT, first ever NFT collection. There it says first ever Crypto Mainly NFT at the top there. There's 2 of these for sale at $250. Plus another 5 at $300. So if you're quick enough, you can grab those first 2 at $250. I won't be putting the prices below this price. In fact, you'll see that they're actually starting to creep up in price once these first few are sold. The reason I've created the NFT is in the future I can look back at the people. I can see just literally by clicking on the button here, it tells me who owns the NFT currently. And I can look back in time and see who was investing in me at my early stage of the YouTube career, and my early venture, basically. So, I can't make any promises, but I can't make any promises, and there are no boundaries, obviously. So let's see how things progress for me over the next few years into the next bull run, and see where I end up. And of course, I want to look back and be able to see who was investing in me at the early part of my career, so that I can make a decision on what I do with these NFTs at some point in the future. So no promises at the moment, guys. So if you purchase them at your own risk, etc., etc. It's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Blah 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 blah. All that I'm doing is I can look back on the blockchain and see who was investing in my career at the early stage of my career at some point in the future, and obviously make a decision on what I do to give back at that point. Thank you very much. I'm going to move on straight into the content now. Well, Bitcoin. As you can see, excuse my scribbly chart, guys. You all know that I like to look back and be able to go back through things, and you'll see on here that you can look how price action, look back and carry it. Take some measurements, see how the chart worked and how the price action reacted to certain price patterns and things. So this is a very scribbly chart, guys, but I do apologise for that. But it is my daily working chart. This is the chart that I trade with on a daily basis. So I like to share exactly with you what I'm doing, and unfortunately it means that the chart that you're looking at is going to look a little bit messy from time to time. But I'm just going to go down into the smaller time frames here. We got this this big blue line here is my scribble. Sorry, is from the previous videos where I thought where I said that I thought what's going to happen is we're going to get this this bottoming pattern somewhere down below this trend line. I do, however, guys, I mean, if we look at this close up, you can see that there are, this is a very nice and clear W in pattern here. So you've got lows here, and then you've got higher lows, and you've got this bottoming pattern here, which is really, very nicely formed there, and obviously then you've got the breakout from the neckline. So a nicely formed bottoming pattern here. Let me just take that off. If you've got we almost had a W in sensation here, but this was actually invalidated because this series of lows here, these lows are actually lower than these lows. So you've got the lows here, and these lows are lower, albeit slightly, but nonetheless still lower. So this first W sensation, I wouldn't have sort of traded that. Because if we forget about the price action from here, so if we just cut that price action off from there, if we were looking at this on this scale yesterday, I was wondering actually if we were getting like a double, not a double top, but a topping sensation where this came back down, retested the neckline, broke down, came up, and then obviously went down further to the downside. That obviously didn't happen. But as you can see, put the information back on there. So as you can see there, the price action, this would be the W to have been watching for, and the difference being is that these lows here are higher and these lows. So this is a perfectly formed W pattern with a neckline of and the breakout in this region here. Okay, so very nicely done at the moment. Let me just take these drawings off. So what I think is going to happen next, okay, guys, so I'd be a little bit cautious here. This does look like we've broken out. It may be that we retest and continue higher. I suspect what we'll see is something like this, where we get this, we look like we're starting to bounce. We come back up, and then we roll over, and then the support fails, and we end up, headed to the downside. Why do I say that? Well, we'll come to that in just a second. So I think we'll end up back down here to the bottom of this blue box range here. The reason I say that, guys, is if we look on here, I do still think that we've not tested the bottom of this range, this support line. So when you look on a smaller time frame here, it does look like we're actually, we've already broken back into the pattern. Back into the pattern, and this area here was almost like a big fake down, if you like. But when you actually look at this side of things, we've not actually come all the way back down and retested yet. So I'm expecting to see something like this, where we come back down and we do retest the bottom of this support, and then we get the breakout, and then obviously something like that. So as you can see by the purple dotted line in the background there, you can see the purple dotted line of my projection of what's going to happen. So going back to this chart here. I don't think that this is finished with yet, guys. I think that we are going to see this lower, this lower test down the bottom here. It does look promising on the face of things, and it may be that that we don't come back down and retest the bottom. But I will show you why I think that. So I'll just get rid of that. So we can see here. Let's just go down to a slightly on a 2 hour time frame. So we can see we're going to get this bounce here, and people are going to think this is the retest and the bounce, and that we're going to continue higher. So they're going to think we're going to get something like this, where we just continue higher from here, from this bounce. But I don't think that's going to happen. What we'll get is something along the lines of it'll bounce up, come back, and not quite reach the highs here. So if we do a fib measurement, to give you an idea, and we go from the high here, which is actually there, the high to the low, the 78.6, the 41,500 mark, I think we'll come up to around about that figure, and then we'll roll over. Then the support will fail, and we'll, so everybody, lots of people will be going long here, thinking that the support is retested. But I think that we'll get this rollover session, and we will come back down and retest the bottom here. And the reason I say that is that will be the retest here of the bottom of the trend line, which is the 88.6 there, which is the 38,800 mark, which we've been talking about for a long time now, for several days now, in fact, here on the channel. And the reason that I'm expecting this, guys, if I just show you this is a 2 hour time frame. Pop it onto a 4 hour time frame for a moment. Okay, the reason that I'm expecting this kind of bounce and then roll over is if we look at, just do a fresh chart for you here. If we look at the RSI, we look at this peak here, and we can see that we're coming up against resistance, and we're rolling over again. So we can almost say that this here is a confirmed high, just here. We're gathering data all the time, but you can see that we are rolling over and we are coming up against resistance. So if we draw that resistance line there, and I've just drawn those vertical lines just to make it a bit clearer for you. But if you look at the bottom here, you've got a high on RSI, and you've got a higher high on RSI. But on the same areas, if you look at the vertical lines, you've got a high on price action, you've got a lower high. Okay, so the price is making lower highs, the RSI is making higher highs. That is a bearish divergence. So we are going to see, this is unconfirmed yet, strictly speaking. If you want, for those of you that don't know, for this divergence to be confirmed, the RSI actually has to come back down and break the lows of the valley, which if I just draw that on for you, and we're a long way off from that yet. So this bearish, this bearish divergence may not play out at all. But for this to be confirmed, this RSI has got to get all the way back down and break below this low of the valley here. So this dotted line. So that would be the point there. Where if we broke down below that, this whole bearish divergence has actually been confirmed. And there's a long way to go from that yet, guys. But if we start to see the price rolling over and start to come down to the bottom here, you know, by the time we reach down to these low levels here, this RSI will have come back down, and if we see it break below there, we will get continuation lower from there. So, you know, just watch out for that. And if we look at the Ethereum chart here, we were talking about this yesterday. We got the bounce and we got the rollover. I actually think now, looking at the Bitcoin, if what I've just said is going to play out on Bitcoin, then what I think's going to happen here is we will see actually, you know, this rolling over will be a little bit deeper, perhaps come back down, retest the support line, and then what happened there? What happened there? So this comes back down, retest the support line, and then breaks out, and then obviously you get your continuation higher. Okay, guys, don't get too excited just yet. I think that we've got some more action. You know, this is going to come over, roll down, and come back down into this area here because of this this potential bearish divergence, and it would make sense that we do come back down and retest the bottom of the channel here. So just so that you know, guys, on this chart here, the 38,800 over there, you see the 38,800 is the bottom of this blue box that we drew in a while ago in days previous on the video. Just to show you what that blue box is, what it represents. Some of you remember from previous videos, but it's the 78.6 here to the 88.6 retracement from the highs. So what we're looking at, how did I get to that? So this fib level here is the bottom of this move to the top of the move, and the 78.6 to the 88.6 retracement of that move. Now you'll know why I did that if you look back through previous videos, or you've been watching from the start of the channel. You know, if you go back and you start to draw this, you know, the lows to the highs here, lows to the highs. Sorry, bear with me. Lows to the highs, you know, low to the high. The retracement here down to the bottom here was actually the 88.6. Okay, and then if we draw another fib from this low to this high, the lows here actually got down to the 78.6 in this case. Okay, and so this last fib that we're talking about more recently here is the low here to the high, and the retracement for that, this blue box territory here, is the 78.6 to the 88.6 as per the last two corrective moves, if you like. So that's why where we came to this blue box territory, and that's what it represents there. This is getting very scribbly. I'm sorry about this, guys. Just zooming in slightly. So that's what you can see here a bit more clearly, the 78.6 to the 88.6. That's what this blue box represents. And I do think we're going to come up and come back down, and we haven't tested the bottom of this range yet. So we are going to come back down here, I think, is what's going to happen because of this bearish divergence. And that will then give us the retest here of this lower area here, which is the 78.6, which is that 38,800, which we've been looking at for a long time now, more than a week or more on this channel. So hopefully you've been following that, guys. This is the Ethereum chart. As I say, we can perhaps see something like this in accordance with that Bitcoin move. Just while we're on the subject, actually, let's have a quick look at dominance. Okay, so this is the Bitcoin dominance chart. Strange movements on the dominance, actually. I did say in the videos, you know, here, that when we were talking up here, we actually did break this, you know, this neckline of the W. But in actual fact, looking at the 6 hour time frame, look, we didn't actually break above the so we actually, let me just see if we did or we didn't. Did we actually get above there? Marginally, only just marginally. So when I spoke in the video yesterday, I said that we'd broken the neckline. We did, but actually we got a hefty rejection, which I didn't expect to see that. I actually thought this was going to be, you know, we broke the neckline, we're going to continue higher and then roll over. But yeah, so I mean, this is actually looking like we're going to get continuation to the downside on dominance, which is interesting, which also, you know, supports the fact that our summer alt season is coming as well. I think we'll see something like this, where we get a little bit more, you know, consolidation in this area, whilst Bitcoin is still bouncing around in this area. So shall we say, so whilst it's still bouncing around in this area. So those are my thoughts, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video today. Thank you very much, sincerely, for liking, subscribing, and joining and following me and showing me your support. I really appreciate it, guys. I look forward to making these videos every day. And my genuine intention, I promise you this, is that I will try to catch the moves and try and guide you so that you are at least protect yourself from the detrimental moves, as well as capitalise on the positive moves of the market. So, you know, thanks ever so much, guys. Hopefully I'm giving back by doing that. And hopefully you'll like the videos and help me grow the channel by sharing my content amongst your friends and family and whatever, and on your own social media sites as well. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. Always remember, take profits and buy something real. Take care, guys. See you tomorrow.
Bounce.